Interesting. All right. Well, hello and welcome, everyone. It's June 15th. It's Sunday. I'm the Guru Mama coming to you with the 411 of the as above, so below of the shenanigans. So welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining me. I don't think I'm going to be very long. I cleaned it, Stephen. No, it's not. It's what I use to wipe up. Anyways, gotta love when I'm live, right? So coming to you with the 411. I just have to say there's just still a lot of lot of things at play right now. And we'll see how long I'm going to be on here. Um, and this is what I want to know because um I want to find out where I think I'm going to start pre-recording these and not be live. And one of the big reasons is just I want to build an audience. And I'm feeling like the lives aren't really building an audience because I want people to like and subscribe and do all of that kind of stuff. And also learning how to edit. That's the big one. And bringing in some editing to what I'm doing so that hopefully I can build more of an audience. I want to really focus not only on the astrology, but we are also going to be starting to focus on things like my Sacred Summer series and the Metapause workshop that's going to be coming up in September. And that's going to be information and stuff will be coming out this week for that. And for people, if you want early registration for that, that's going to be an 8-week workshop. And if people want to register early for it, and it is going to be one where you're going to get weekly workbooks. You're going to be receiving one-on-ones. We're going to be doing meditations. We're going to be discussing things about the biological of the mind and the body, and bringing the information to you. And then one of the things about my workshops is that they are somewhat self-directed. So that means that you go out and you find information also for your own self, right? And so that helps to empower you. All right. All right. That's my new one. All right. Are you all right? The other part is the Sacred Summer series. Now, this one you can join at any time. This is one that is self-directed. We meet bi-weekly. It is $100 for all 3 months. And it really helps you to get in line in within this energy that's coming in for the intensity that's happening. Now, right now, we have just gone through some of the biggest intensities of the year. I think this is like one of the second biggest uh, energy that's come in. I've listened to many different astrologers to see, hearing what they have to say, and they're all we're all basically in alignment with this, and bringing that alignment to into the world. And I feel this is really a time, you know, what is it that you are wanting to create and what you are wanting to do, and because we are emerging from the most electric, jarring, and reality bending weekends of 2025. And I mean, that's cosmically, emotionally, and collectively. Mars just squared Uranus, and that's not a quiet aspect. That's a firecracker in a library. This is action, this is meeting, this is surprise. That's what, Uranus is, and it's messy. And it's always revealing. It's not something that's really um easily understood at first. But since its conjunction from last year to its square this year, this is, unveiling a lot of the frequencies that are coming forward right now. And we also then have, with that Jupiter square Saturn. Now they met together in 2020, and that was the huge conjunction of, okay, things are going to start changing. And yeah, they have since 2020, since January 2020, we've started to really see changes, and that was 5 years ago. Now they're squaring. And these are two social giants. This is where when they clash, you feel it in the bones. The news, in your relationship, Jupiter wants to grow, Saturn wants structure, and this is what we are trying to figure out right now. We're trying to figure out our structure. So hence, a lot of the workshops that I'm doing is helping you to build that structure, helping you to look at, okay, how can I really recreate the things in my life? Like what has been on repeat and I don't like the repeat, and start to make those changes. And that comes with how we are feeling. It comes with our mentality and how we are stepping forward into this realm, into this world. And it's echoing out. It's echoing out through this weekend, and this weekend where it's aren't just personal, but they are global. This is global energy because these are all at critical degrees within the astrology. So we are seeing the craziness in the Middle East. We are seeing riots just, get out of control. We are seeing things, all over. This is happening. It's not just in one place. But this is the type of transit that gets remembered in the history books and the personal journals alike. So this is the energy and the transformations that really start to get you to think, how am I going to create my world? What am I putting down? This summer is not going to be an easy peasy, let's go lay by the beach kind of, you know, vibration. It has a very urgency to the energies that are unfolding, especially over the summer. And yeah, we will want to get to the beach, and yes, we will want to go to the picnics and the hikes and everything else that come along with summer, but you're gonna find that there's gonna be more restrictions on the things that you are trying to do. Now, we just had hello, Lexi. Thank you. Happy Father's Day from Lexi. Um, thank you, he says. This is where I find with the restrictions that are coming in. Now, one of the things that a lot of people didn't realize is that the internet actually went out over quite a large area throughout not only the United States, Canada. And that means if you were trying to get on to any of your apps and things like that, you might have had issues over the last few days. And this is a reconstruct. This is a reconstructing how things are unfolding. And it wasn't what I understood is that it wasn't a hack that was happening. It was something else that was coming in to reconstruct what we are able to utilize on our browsers, right? So things are changing with that. So we're going to find that there are going to be some restrictions that are going to be coming in um, when we are on our social medias, when we are trying to find information. And, this is where if you don't have a VPN, it'll be very important to have a VPN. Now, VPN, what it does, it sort of puts you in incognito to where you are from your location. So you can get a VPN. I use Surfshark, and I've been using Surfshark for the last 4 years. Um, and there's different ones out there that you can use. They usually have some kind of sale or something like that on. But Surfshark helps me, and I could be anywhere. Now, a lot of people use it for if you are traveling and you want to buy cheaper tickets, you can buy them, from a different place, right? Totally had internet issues even at work. Yeah. So this was where part of the internet issues that went down had to do with Google. And a lot of times people don't realize, like, we think like Google's just this search engine, but Google owns Fitbit. So if you have a smartwatch, the Fitbit and part in your smartwatch, Google owns that. Google owns the surveillance cameras that you buy and you purchase. They own a majority of all the Ring doorbell cameras. So they have that. They also 21andMe. I know that they've gone bankrupt or what, but they've actually bought um, the information from 21andMe. So all of the DNA information and all of that goes into their database. Now, Google has one of the largest computers, quantum computers, and that came out in 2019. and that started to initiate a lot more of the changes that were happening within our world. So that's a big, a big piece. Now, with coming back to the energies that are right now, I think this is like, you know, I know Lexi's a Gemini, but this is, as they say, this is going to tickle your brain, especially with the Gemini energy and the Gemini sun, because we are really after this week, like we have just moved through into a new world. This world is not going to be the same after this weekend. Not at all. And you're going to feel it vibrationally. You're going to feel it within how you are approaching things, how you are wanting to create whatever if you're creating a business, if you're creating um more information, or whatever within the job. So things are going to be changing with us, and we're going to be feeling that into our system. So this is also like a upgrade. Things are going to get crazy. Like we saw it this weekend. If you saw some of the riots right now, where is it? New York City turns into a war zone. Rioters ambush police. We saw it in LA, where they started attacking the horses. We saw it. I mean, they had a pretty good control over Washington D.C., but there's also a reason why Washington D.C. got locked down. What's happening with Israel and Iran. Now, I have some Iranian friends, and I have to say they had escaped Iran before the new um, Hamas government, I think it is, that took over. Now, they're cheering for this because they want a dismantlement of that government. They want, they want to be able to go home, some of them, to go visit. One of my person that I know, his dad is still in prison from when he was just a little boy, when him and his mom escaped and went to the British Embassy. And his dad, he can speak to him every once in a while, but not often. These are where, we are going to be seeing, the different alliances. We're already seeing the alliances. We're not hearing a lot, and this is what I'm finding a lot about this G7 summit as well. So there's a lot of things that are wheels and deals that are happening. Trump, I believe, came in today for this today. I know a lot of his entourage and everything was already here, like the Marines and the helicopters and everything were already here. But more of what is going to be the deals that are going to be made are going to be made over I think today. A lot's going to be coming in about today. So so when it comes to the global, there's, with this transit, as I said, it's very historical. This is a um also in alignment with the Revolutionary War, the start of the Revolutionary War within, and you just had Bernie Sanders. He tweeted out that, we're going to riot against the king, go out there and go against the king. I mean, that to me, that's an insurrection. That in stating that, of saying, you are a public figure, you have like 14 million people following you, that, and you're a Democrat that has been there for a long time, a senator within the Congress and everything else. You saying that is really initiating more of the rhetoric of what's going on, and trying to dismantle. So we're seeing the fall of the Democratic Party. We're seeing where within the Republican Party. So there's going to be some things happening within the Republican Party and with Trump too as well. So it's interesting, this, and how much control Israel has within the government. Oh my gosh, this is like crazy, because Israel's actually has a lot of affiliation with the British government, because the land that they're on, it's not their land, but anyways, the land that was given over to Israel to form a country was occupied by the British government. That's why there's a PM there. So we have a lot of affiliations going back to the British aristocracy, the British monarch. I'm going to say the British monarch, and how much influence that British monarch has on the United States, which is interesting as well. And the affiliations that are going on there. Now, the split has been made. You have Germany, France, England, and the EU are all backing Ukraine. They're all like they don't really want to back Israel. United States is kind of backing them, but not. I think that they're going to step in there fully. We'll find out more of that this week. There's also, with all of that, we also have where Iran is backed by not only Russia, but North Korea and Pakistan. So even though it might look, oh, yay, Israel's winning or whoever, whatever team you're on, it's going to be very interesting. I don't think Russia's going to stay backing Iran. And I think that has to do with the religious part. So that's where the religious wars start to happen. Okay, because they're an Orthodox Christian country. And that's the other thing, is that Ukraine closed all the churches. So you're going to see alliances I just things are going to shift. That's why you think you know where things are going. You listen to whatever on the news or what have you. But when I look at the astrology, there are so many shifts that are going to be happening, and sudden moves that are really going to shock a lot of people. And that's why we are formulating also within this time in the age of the Phoenix, which when you go back to human design, this age ends in 2027. So we are now beginning in 2025 in the rewriting of our spiritual direction. Another reason to take my Sacred Summer series is because the things that you are writing down today are going to influence you in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 2 years, right? It's the garden that you're planting. Are you planting perennials? Okay. Are you planting annuals? Are you planting a fruit tree? A fruit tree doesn't usually produce in the first year. It takes a little bit for it to establish. Are you establishing grapevines? So these are the things. I mean, some of the things you want to have that you want to harvest now, and then you look at things that are for the long term. What are you working on for the long term? So right now I have my Sacred Summer series. I'm just using this as an example. Then in the fall, we're going into not only into a fall series, which I'll have for the fall, which will be September, October, November, and then we'll have a winter series. But we're also doing the menopause and the 8-week transformation of the crone wisdom and stepping into your crone wisdom. And doing that. So I have these, these things that I'm really starting to implement, and learning where else can I put them out there in order to grow a bigger audience, right? That's all part of this as well. It's not all doom and gloom. It feels that way because that's really what's being pushed upon us, but it's not just doom and gloom. There is this frequencies that are coming in to really push us into a direction of bringing the change. Now, with the moon has moved into Aquarius this weekend, and then Pisces, then Aries. So you feel the pull. This is being pulled through layers and insight. And this is where, especially with Jupiter, and it's not like it's just coming into Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So you're going to be finding there's going to be a layer and layer and layer over this next year of being uncomfortable, and then of newness coming in, because it is going to be downloads that Jupiter is going to be receiving, because the moon moves every 2.5 days. So, and it is the dispositor of Cancer. So it's going to feel this. It's going to feel these changes, these transformations that are going to be going on. And the moon is picking up all of this information as it goes on. And it's your internal core. It's your reflection. So those who have their moon, especially in Cancer, which I do, you're going to feel that intensity a little bit more than others. So it's another thing is to know your chart, understand where is your moon, right? Where is your moon in affiliation to where Cancer is? What house is Cancer in for you? and taking a look at that. So that's going to give you a little bit more of an understanding of the movements, a little bit more understanding of how you are feeling about a lot of the changes that are happening. Mine's in the first house. It's like, yay, here I am. So all of these vibrations that are coming in and Jupiter hitting that, right? So expanding that information, expanding a lot of what's coming forward with that. And it is going to be where a practice of grounding, a practice of, of reconnecting with oneself, with your chakras, working with your chakra system is really going to be helpful as well. So bringing in crystals. So the crone wisdom that I find that's coming in for this as well is this is a sacred disruption. Like, it's not supposed to make sense at first. It's supposed to get you moving. And like a wise woman saying, when the ground shakes, plant your feet and listen. So the ground is shaking. Get out there, plant your feet, listen to what your divine is coming in. What is the messages that are coming in for you? And taking that time to ingest it. Now, I know for some of you, it's hard for you to bring it from out down here, and we're going to ingest it within our body, right? And doing that. So this is part of the transformation. This is a part of the new movement that's coming in. If things feel surreal right now, that's because they are. We have entered a liminal zone between old stories and the new paradigm. And we can't just sit and overthink our way out of this. We have to trust the fires of Aries. Like, this is like it's getting out and doing. This is where, with Jupiter, he swims in Cancer right now. And we are building. This is building differently under Saturn's stern gaze. And right now, Saturn and Neptune makes it messy because Neptune's there too. They're both going to be going retrograde soon in July. And then Uranus is going to be going into Gemini. And we're going to feel those disruptions as they're coming. We're going to it's like almost a sense, when you go outside and you're like, oh, something's a little bit off today. Something feels funny. And that's the movement of the planets. So you're going to feel like, let yourself break routine. Let yourself listen for your cosmic yes. And it comes as a whisper, and you got to lean into it. This is like what, to help you to navigate, as I said, definitely the summer series, but also a solar arc soul reading. A solar arc soul reading really gives you where we look at the whole year and how the year is going to be coming in for you. So whether, it's health, relationships, finances, and I give you sort of I give you an outline, a written outline, and how to work with, in chunks. This is what you need to work on right now, and that'll go into the next section, into the next session. So that's your solar arc reading. They're very powerful, and they're very eye-opening for them. It's the solar arc is a progression of where the planets are since you were born and how they've moved, because they move at least 1 degree per year. Like the sun moves 1 degree per year, so by 30 degrees it may have moved into a new sign. So that and how that energy has affected you. So that's why 30 at many times for people, it's not only a Saturn return, but having this solar arc and where it is has a lot of how that energy works. Some planets move a little bit slower, like Uranus and that. Um, but it does help us with direction. I've done them for a few people, quite a few people, and it's shown where, where there's been health issues and the areas that they really have to work at. And also it comes in with relationships and um what you have to do in order you want a relationship. Well, you can't be doing the same old thing if you're wanting something new. So it should help you to look at things in new ways. So that's a solar arc reading. But yeah, pretty crazy and dynamic energies right now. And I feel people are I feel you guys are feeling it. I know you're feeling it. I know it's there's a lot. I think herbs, crystals can all be very helpful for us at this time. Yeah. Some people are gonna like they're like, oh, this is gonna be like the BLMs. No, I think people have woken their eyes are open. More is coming out about how things are being like exposure, like the BLM, how they were set up, and um to get people to start protesting and things like that. People are just waking up and they're like, okay, how did they get those signs? How did this happen? Why are they so organized right now? That just is, it's not just crazy people deciding to come out of their house and then start freaking out. It's just too well organized. So feeling a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. A lot of a lot of lot. A lot. And yeah, it's like sometimes you just want to say, can you guys just stop doing what you're doing? But we've been preparing for this like for some time. We're coming into this pivotal times, and it's 2025. We're in the throes of it, right? And coming into 2025 all the way into 2027, and then we step into like a new dawn as we go into 2028. And so this is a lot of restructuring, a lot of looking at, and we're feeling that, it's the Tower card. And that's what we're feeling. We're feeling the Tower card. We want, love the rooster. Look at that. Oh, that little rooster. A cockerel. He's running. He's like, I'm getting out of here. Look at that. I'm not doing this. Right? Everything's just coming down. It's like it feels like all of this descent is coming down upon us in order for us to crack open, right? And say, we're not doing this anymore. And with that, it's looking at how we can bring in our passion. I just love this page of wands because you got the cute little donkey there. Donkey's doing his thing. He's got his little magic wand, creating something, making things grow. Very calm. It's new. It's this newness. It's this new form of energy, and it's like, okay, what can we do? What is this new creation that we're wanting to have? How can we move from this destruction and crazy? And how are we rebuilding it? And in rebuilding it, it's bringing in the sun. So we got the sun and we have the Tower card. So there is something there that we're rebuilding that's going to be beautiful. And that's what you got to focus on. Is there war? Definitely. Will there be shortages? Yes. Will there be outages in the internet acting funny? Yes. And it's in all of that, it's like, okay, I get it. How am I preparing for this? And how am I moving forward? So there you all go. So I want you guys to all have a fabulous weekend. And as I said, I'm probably going to start pre-recording these and then editing and putting them out. We'll see how that works. Because it's just, yeah, growing the audience. So like, subscribe, definitely. If you're wanting any more information on what I'm doing, just send me an email, DM me, and sending you out so much blessings. Bye-bye, everyone.